My ex-girlfriend Carol reached out to me after her perfect husband cheated on her. Now, her toxic friends are attacking me for not taking her back. She recently got divorced because her husband left her for a younger woman. Carol is 36 and I'm 38. Her ex-husband, Tom, is 43 and left her for a 23-year-old Swedish girl from his work. They have 3 kids together, one 8-year-old and 2 younger ones, 3 and 4. Carol messaged me on Facebook, saying she couldn't breathe when she saw my face again. She told me I was still so handsome and that she had aged. She saw me on the alumni page of our college when I decided to join the group. I chose to respond, pretending to be friendly, but the old pain resurfaced. I had forgotten about this woman, and it took me 3 years to get over her and move on. I still remember her making a pact with some girls in our class, saying she would never date me. That VDA is what one of the girls told me. They said I was weak, not good enough for her, and that she deserved a strong man. It seemed like they were jealous and planting seeds in her head. I remember telling Carol not to tell those girls everything about our life. If she even mentioned being sad or hurt, they would try to plant seeds. She cried and said she didn't know how to trust people. Well, she trusted them over me and ended up cheating, making out with 10 people, including mutual friends and 2 of the girls who I thought were our close friends. This happened around the mid-2000s. She claimed she was drunk and tried to work things out with me, but the trust was broken. I tried, but I couldn't do it, so I left. It was hard missing her, holding her and her smile. I only got over her when a friend of ours ran into me at the bookstore. We talked about old times, and I asked about Carol. She told me Carol moved on from me real quick, never asked about me, never missed me. She started dating several guys, including one of our friends. All my friends were basically her friends as well. What's sad is, I was friends with them first, and then she came along. I decided these were not good people to be around. They all hid what she did from me, and told her negative things about me. She ended up getting married, and this is what she told me in her message. She said she saw me during the pandemic, still working, and was grateful for her high-paying job. I told her I was laid off and struggling, hoping she'd lose interest. Carol said her husband cheated on her, told her one day that he met another woman, and it shattered her. She couldn't stop crying. He left her in 2019, and she tried to fight for their marriage, but he said he got his mistress pregnant. They finalized the divorce quickly. She wants full custody, but he gets to have the kids from time to time. He said it was the least he could do for the pain he caused. She told me this was the man her sister and girlfriends all approved of. He wasn't good-looking or charming, but he had a head on his shoulders and took care of his mum and family. She said this was the guy she chose over me, and she started crying. She asked about my life, if I was married or had kids. I said no. She messaged me, showing pictures of us together, acting like everything was like old times. I got enraged. How does this woman think everything is fine? Does she not remember how she ended our relationship? She took their side over me, left me for dead, never cared to check on me. Now she only contacts me because she lost her looks, her husband left her, and used her. I remained calm, and she asked to hear my voice. She said, "Can I call you?" I figured, okay. The moment I said hello, she started crying, saying, "I can can't believe it. My stomach is empty. I miss your voice, I can't breathe." And real tears were flowing. I said, "Are you okay? Don't cry." She told me she couldn't stop thinking about me, how I used to smile at her, how spontaneous and funny I was, how charming. She remembered the cologne I wore. I was on the phone containing myself, feeling mixed emotions, happy to hear from the woman I loved many moons ago, and sad because she stabbed me in the back and never cared about me. We talked, and she asked to meet up just once. I hung up the phone. She texted me saying, "IVDJTM sorry." I texted back, "Sorry for what?" She couldn't be tempty answer. She said, "I can explain better in person." I said, "It VDRTM's best we not meet in person because of the pandemic." She insisted, "We can eat outside, I need to see you, or IVDJ crumble." I told her I couldn't do it. She said she listened to the wrong advice and should have trusted me. My ex-girlfriend Carol told me she struggled with listening to me. She said she cried for days, not knowing what to do. Carol wanted to be with me, but they told her I was a bum and would never amount to anything, that I was just a pretty boy who would always cheat. So she cheated on me to make me not like her anymore. She claimed that DJJTMM's why she made out with multiple people at a party, because she knew I wouldn't stop loving her. She said her friends and family didn't vjtamet like me, and she couldn't vjtomti choose me over them. Being the caring person I am, I didn't want to hear that. Carol had already been through so much. Her husband left her, and she had nobody. I said, please don't vjtamt bring that up. It's hurting me too. I don't vjtm want to get angry. It vjtm's the past. Let vdjtms move forward, focus on your kids, and maybe some single father will date you, and you can have a blended family or something. I asked my aunts and female cousins for advice, and they told me she is a devil, a wolf in sheep's clothing. They said, Don vjj temti, give her the time of day. This woman never loved you. A woman who loves you will die for you. She will never want to see you hurt. You are a good man. You care too much, and she knows that. Why are you feeling sorry for her? My aunt then asked, when you were hurting, was she there for you? If you were in her shoes, would she do the same for you? I said, no, she wouldn't. Just recently, her girlfriends messaged me, saying if I really loved her, I would give her a second chance. When I read that, I was pissed off. Loved her? Second chance? What about me? She broke me, left me for dead, and now they're trying to guilt-trip me. I just messaged back saying, I didn't mean to hurt her, but she left me for that guy. How would you feel? She said, I understand, but just because she has 3 kids doesn't mean she can TM love you. She did love you before. Forgive her and move on. You ain't young yourself either. This friend, who I knew as well, was talking to me like this. She was one of the girlfriends who advised Carol that I was no good and hooked her up with the guy she married. I thought to myself, if this girl really did love me, why is she still talking to this no-good woman and having her message me? Then, 2 days later, her father messaged me saying, my daughter is hurting here and would like some closure. Could you at least give her that? I was shocked. Closure? Why do I need to give her what she wants? When I wanted closure, she never gave me anything. She left me for dead. I can't believe it. This is the man who hated my guts and loved that guy she married. The plain guy who cheated. Now he has the nerve to force me to get back with his daughter. This is crazy. I'm glad my aunts and cousins told me the real truth. Her father trying to get me to take her back after she was used up and tossed to the curb with 3 kids. After he even told her that her husband was a much better man than me, was infuriating. How should I handle this situation? Please help. Update 1. I struggled, but I had to meet her. I already made a mistake by answering her messages on Facebook and then letting her call my phone. I met up with her. I tried my best not to be angry or show anger when I met her. She was already waiting outside the restaurant. She saw me walking up there. I had my mask in my hand and didn't notice her at first until she saw me. I was walking, and I saw someone crying with her hands covering her face. It was her. She ran up to me and hugged me. I didn't hug her back. My hands were to my side. She was making a big scene, and people were watching. An older woman walked by us and asked, "Are you guys married? Is he coming back from the service?" I said, "No, just an old college friend." The old woman said, "Well, she's hell as emotional for just an old friend. You guys are cute together." I was already thinking this was a bad idea. Carol was making a scene, getting all emotional, and people were looking at us like we were in love, or she was in love, and they were going to kiss her. I kept my composure. We ordered and waited for our food outside. She looked older, with a little more weight. Carol told me she missed me, that her heart was pounding. We started talking. She showed me photos of her daughters and I said, "They look just like their father." She was really happy, but I wasn't. She was acting like everything was all good and I just played along. We ate and finished our food, and I wanted to talk to her privately. I said, "Let's walk toward that park area and sit on a bench to talk." I asked, "What is the reason you wanted to meet me?" She said straight up that she missed me and asked me to please listen and not get mad. Carol admitted she messed up and said she understood if I... Carol told me that if she hadn't gone through all the stuff she did, If she hadn't been with the guys she was with, married the guy she did, and then had him leave her, she would never have known I was the one. That made me snap. I tried to keep calm at first and said, "So, let me get this straight. You cheat on me, remain friends with the girls who talk crap about me, and French kissed at the party, and those same friends you made out with, but you left me, the one who loved you the most, the one who confided in you, the one who had nobody. You left me for dead, and you still talk to those friends." She started crying and said yes. "So you abandoned me," I continued. "And now you want me to be part of your life again after your husband cheats on you and leaves you for a younger woman." She said she understood while crying. I told her, "Do you know how offensive and shameless it is for you to suggest that, like I'm winning some kind of prize? What do I get that's so special? What do you have to offer me that these younger women don't? You already cheated on me, lied to me, betrayed me, and you still talk to those people. You chose them over me and listened to them over me, and you had kids with another man. That shows me you don't care about me. You think I'm some kind of sucker who will just forgive you." She started crying harder and having a panic attack, saying she didn't know how to express it and that she was sorry. She told me she beat herself up every day for what she did to me. I yelled, "You're full of it! You moved on from me! They told me!" She asked who told me, and I said it didn't matter. "You dated guys we knew right after you left me. I felt guilty thinking it was all my fault. Even now you lie. You never asked about me. They showed a video of us together, and you didn't even shed a tear 3 years after you left me. I'm not doing this to hurt you because I know how you are. You'll go talk to your sisters and your girlfriends after this because you can think on your own 2 feet. They'll say the same crap they always did, that I'm no good and you deserve better. I loved you. I wanted you to have my babies. If you had married me, I'd still be with you today." She said she knew. Then her sister called her up. She was babysitting and had to go to work soon, so we cut our meeting short. I walked her to her car, and she tried to hug me again. I said no, but she insisted. I just let her hug me. She started smelling my neck and telling me how she missed my scent and my cologne. Shortly after I got home, she sent me a text message saying she wouldn't stop fighting for me. She admitted I was right, that I deserved a fresh start with a younger woman, but she would keep trying to prove herself to me. That was the last message she sent me, and I didn't tempt reply. Update 2. After meeting up, I stopped talking to her. She sent me Facebook messages but then stopped. Before Christmas, she sent me a text and a voicemail on Facebook asking what I would be doing for Christmas or New Year's Eve. She sent some quote on forgiveness and learning, hinting that the story was about her, that she didn't realize she hurt someone until she lost everything and now feels the pain of that person. I didn't reply. After Christmas, her friend messaged me on Facebook, calling me a pathetic excuse for a man and a coward. Carol's friend tore into me, saying I was weak for not forgiving her and that I was mean-spirited. She claimed if I truly loved Carol, I would have given her a second chance, and accused me of being shallow, only loving her for her looks. Her friend said my past declarations of love were fake because now that Carol wasn't as good-looking and single, it showed I only cared about her appearance. I decided to respond to her friend, telling her, "What do I get that's so special?" She asked what I meant. I said, "Carol cheated on me, abandoned me, and never thought about me. She had kids with another man, the one you helped set her up with, and you told her I was no good years ago." Her friend didn't bother answering and just sent me a talk to the hand emoji saying, "This convo is over. You lose. It's 2021. Women deserve better. Bye-bye." She couldn't answer when I mentioned she had hooked Carol up with the husband who eventually cheated on her. Carol's friends are toxic. I still feel bad for Carol. She was naive and indecisive. It's sad when women can think on their own and have controlling friends like this. I shut her friend up by pointing out that she was the one who hooked Carol up with her ex-husband and told her I was no good. This friend is a piece of crud with no remorse. She can't feel guilt or refuses to feel guilty for advising Carol not to be with me and then setting her up with a cheater. Instead, she attacks me, calling me less of a man. I haven't seen this girl in 15 years, so how is this my fault? Talk about trying to deflect blame from herself. I blocked the friend too, but she managed to circumvent the blockade. I left her on read. The crazy thing is, I didn't reply to Carol. I forgot to mention, her friend told me, "How dare you? This will be the first New Year's Eve she spends by herself." What kind of entitlement is that? There's a pandemic, and they stopped all mass gatherings, trying to guilt-trip me or something. I hope people read this and learn from my mistakes. Avoid females with controlling, manipulative, nosy friends like this. This same friend told Carol I was no good and she deserved better, then hooked her up with the husband who cheated and left her. I feel this friend attacked me on purpose to report back to Carol that she told me off, to save face for being the advisor who told her to dump me and then set her up with a guy she was so sure was better than me. She's trying to avoid any responsibility for her bad advice. I think she got jealous because she saw other girls inviting me over for the holidays, and I ignored her message but responded to their invites, saying I'd see what VDJTM's up and to text me back on my phone. These women never changed, even into adulthood. She likely cried to her girlfriend and then attacked me, trying to make me the bad guy. This girlfriend is the same one who told Carol I was no good, and then years later set her up with the guy who cheated on her. She's trying to play the hero again to save face, a true manipulator who doesn't like to feel guilt. I wonder if Chev DJTM's a sociopath or a psychopath. To clarify, Carol's friend hooked her up with her ex-husband. No, they weren't married at the time. She hooked my ex-girlfriend up with her no-good ex-husband, and she was also the one in college who told Carol I was no good because I was good-looking and weak, claiming I'd cheat on her. What's strange is I barely even spoke to this friend, yet she was always rude to me in person, saying all these wrong things about me. When I met Carol, she was monkey branching. I didn't know it at the time, but she would tell me her boyfriend was crap, cold to her, and made him out to be an idiot, making me hate him. Then, when I was ready, she jumped to me. After that, she told all her friends and family I was being mean. She basically did to me what she did to her ex. I ran into her ex-boyfriend, and he was the nicest guy ever. He had no clue she was saying all these things about him to other people. He said it was hard to believe. I said no, and logged into my... When I met Carol's ex-boyfriend, I showed him an email she had sent me before, saying he was a drunk loser who had no time for her and was a piece of crap. He was shocked and said he knew of me, but that she had told him I was just a friend from school. I'll admit the only reason I don't block her is because I know she's watching me and hurting inside. She sees younger girls I know messaging me and sees photos of my ex-girlfriends. I know it triggers her. When I met her in person, she was no longer the beautiful, glowing young girl I knew. She kept saying how handsome I was, how she felt ugly around me. She wasn't getting the looks and attention she used to. She seemed like a weakened dog desperate for food. But I was gentle with her and never yelled. I haven't responded to a single text or voicemail from her. She likely cried hard when she saw me responding to my former co-worker, who is gorgeous. My co-worker, who is 27, called me an old man and said she was moving back to California and wanted to meet up. I think Carol read those messages and got jealous or hurt, doing the same thing she always did, crying to her sisters or friends. I feel bad for her. She's indecisive. IVJTMBM, a good person with no hatred or malice. Other guys might have sought revenge, but not me. I moved on, and only the painful memories remain. In college, if we disagreed on something and I was upset, she would run and cry to her sister or friends, who would tell her what she wanted to hear, absolving her of any fault. She couldn't handle guilt or being wrong. I remember her telling me that her sister advised her to give me an ultimatum and a checklist. The crazy thing is, when we were dating, she told me while crying that her friend said I was weak and would likely cheat on her because I didn't shake a girl's GMM's hand properly and because I was a pretty boy on the football team. Her friends knew she got cheated on in high school, and they likely used that to manipulate her. All her friends are not good-looking. She was the pretty one among them, and they all have unattractive boyfriends or are single. Even her ex-husband was not charismatic or good-looking. I'm not being shallow. This is just what a female friend of mine told me. Toxic women are shallow and get jealous of friends who have charming or sexy partners. These are frenemies. It's funny they told her I was a pretty boy and would cheat, yet her homely husband is the one who cheated. She surrounded herself with yes women who made her feel good and always told her she was never wrong. One of her girlfriends told her, "You've got to sample different penises before settling down." When my friend told them she was in love with me and couldn't stop thinking about me, her fat friend, one of the worst frenemies, started crying, saying, "But you wanted in MT to spend any more time with us." Her sister also advised her to provide an ultimatum or checklist to me. Her father, who was in the military, believed a man should do this and that, and would get mad if a guy didn't open the door for a woman. So she started judging me, asking why I did VDHMT hold her hand when walking in the mall. Yet the man her family and friends approved of is the one who ended up cheating on her, while I was loyal. They judged me, saying I was just a pretty boy who would eventually cheat.